What's good? Good morning. I had this realization that yesterday I made a video talking about Seattle electing a young champagne socialist for a mayor, and how one of her talking points was that she's not going to let grocery stores just up and leave, which got me to thinking that government-run grocery stores will likely be a lot better at policing theft. Because, as we all know, or if you don't know, class, here's your introduction to the evils of statism. The government has a monopolization on the initiation of the use of force. So right now, private companies are highly discouraged from initiating any sort of physical force when attempting to deter shoplifting, to the point now where there are countless viral videos of looting sprees, of people bringing their families along to help learn how to steal from grocery stores, to it being just part of a way of life for people. And it's not just grocery stores, it's, retail stores and whatnot. But in this instance, I had this thought that the government is not going to stop itself from using force to prevent shoplifting in a government-run grocery store, because that's one of the things they do best, is the use of force. Private companies can't do it right now, but when the government takes over, you can bet that they will very, very quickly shut down the theft. Right now, the government doesn't really care, because this is what they want. They want destabilization. They want grocery stores to just give up power and say, yes, take us over. You can run us, oh great government daddy state. And I think about the left. I live in Seattle, fucking hate it. I'm building a plan to get out. But I think about the left and how they're always harping about marginalized and underserved communities, right? How is the left going to feel? They're going to be like, yay, government-run grocery stores to help the people, to help the working class. But what they don't realize is that violence is very much going to be a part of this. What are they going to say? This is like, progressives are fucking stupid. They don't realize that as soon as the government's in charge, violence becomes very much an option in theft deterrent. And if marginalized communities and underserved communities are the ones who are, out of necessity, participating in such thievery, they're going to be the first ones targeted. So it's just counterproductive effort after counterproductive effort from these fucking idiot leftists. They cannot think about the consequences of their actions and of their beliefs. They live in this la-la fantasy land of a utopian ideal society that does not align with, or let me try to say this, does not ontologically overlap with the reality of human nature. Damn! I'm gonna pause for a second. It is a very smothering sensation living here in Seattle. I am very lonely, though I am surrounded by people. But I am lonely because I cannot be myself around these people. I cannot have the opinions that I have. Whether or not you believe Charlie Kirk is still alive or not, I honestly don't know at this point. The way that the left reacted to his potential death has been really, really scary. Like, I legitimately am uncomfortable here in Seattle. And I got 3 more years of this probably. I need to figure a solution out because I don't know if I can make it. I was actually at Safeway this morning, and I had noticed the parking lot had there's always 1 or 2 panhandlers in the parking lot, but this morning it was 5 or 6, and one of them was a little belligerent, maybe having a mental episode, yelling at the sky, yelling at people, and it was just sad because if that Safeway ever were to become a government-run grocery store, they would probably deal with the homeless problem, but they would probably do it in a sad way. There would probably be a lot of deaths. I could legitimately see just it getting to the point where there's no de-escalation, there's no social support for these individuals. It's just, oh, you're going to resist, bam. We're gonna get there. It's very scary how Soviet-esque reality has become. And when you think about it, that was 100 years ago. That's not that long ago. It feels longer because it's not our lifetime, but when it's only 1 or 2 lifetimes removed, the reality of the gulags and of the senseless killings. It's so very unfortunate that people like the gay fed Nicholas Fuentes are growing in popularity, and I think that's totally a psyop in itself. But the reality is way more people were killed during the Bolshevik Revolution than were killed during the Nazi occupation of Germany. The Russian Bolsheviks killed way more people. The Chinese communists killed way more people. Oh my gosh, the numbers, are debated between 10 and 100 million people. The Chinese Communist Party killed from 1950 to present day times. Big governments are the result of, or are the progenitors, are the ones who are committing global atrocities. And it just blows my mind because I think I'm smart, but I'm not like a genius. And it just blows my mind that the average human mind cannot comprehend that just cannot look at history and say, oh, look, a big government that doesn't care about its people has killed all its people or is putting them in breadlines, right? Oh my gosh. I'll wrap up the video here. It's really interesting. I live in my minivan, but I have 2 jobs in West Seattle, Washington. It's a little suburb of Seattle proper. I like it here a little bit. It's not as bad as Seattle proper. But anyways, on my way to work, there is quite literally a food bank on the corner of the street that I turn on. And there's almost always a line of people. And it's really interesting to me that a majority of the people in line are, they look like they're not white, I guess, is what I could say. And so it's just, the bread lines are already here. I just think that soon you're probably going to see a lot more white people in the bread lines. And when you see that, oh man, you think racial tensions are bad now? You think just social tensions are bad now? It's only going to get worse. And a common criticism people lob at me is how can you say that you're trying to combat the division while calling people a fucking retard? I feel like of all the things you could call someone, that's not the worst thing in the world, because unless you legitimately have a mental handicap, you can overcome being a fucking retard. You can. You can't overcome a lot of other things. Like you can't really overcome being called a Nazi. You can, but it's just there's this social stigma attached to it that is divisive. Because how do you overcome being a Nazi if that implies you have to change your whole worldview? Oh man, they're connected. Man, What's worse, being called a fucking retard or a Nazi? Are both equally as divisive? If one is true, I don't know. I don't know. This is where I need to have real conversations with people, but you can't have conversations with people on the left. It's really kind of sad. Anyways, I gotta get to work at my second job because I need to get out of here. So I gotta work more hours. They cut my hours. I'm only at like 20 hours here. I'm only at like 30 hours at the other job. That's not gonna cut it. I need to be at 35 and 35. Anyways, much love.